Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of the video, today we're going to be doing a story time, and I'm going to be telling you guys a story about my mom and how she went through breast cancer. Her breast cancer journey basically is what I'll be explaining to you guys. You probably don't. What's wrong? What's the problem? What's the problem? You have to pee? You have to go outside? You wanna go pee? He wants to go pee. So I have to take him to go pee. I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. The dog has been walked, fed, drinking water, so we should be good for at least an hour. We're gonna talk about my mother's breast cancer journey, which I think is a pretty interesting story. You know how when you're like a kid and you're growing up and you don't necessarily, like you hear a story, you receive the story, but you don't process the story the same way that you would process it if you were a full-blown adult. So that's basically what this story is for me. I didn't really process it as a kid the same way that I processed it when I became an adult, or when I feel like it was when I got to college and I was thinking about the story and I was like, wow, that's inspirational. Without gassing it up too much and then it don't actually match up to the expectations that y'all had, let's get into the video. I have some notes in my phone. I think everybody does that, so I don't even have to say that, but everybody does that. I have notes in my phone so that way I can stay on track and I can know what I'm talking about. The first time my mom had breast cancer, I was 2 years old. I don't remember it, but she told me about it when I was like, I wanna say maybe in elementary school or maybe in middle school, I'm not sure. Originally, I'm from Haiti. I was born there, and I moved to the States when I turned 4 years old. So when I was 2 and we were still in Haiti, my mom got breast cancer. Basically, the story was that she was walking. I'm trying to speak slower because I just got off the phone with my dad and he told me that I need to speak slower in my videos because I speak too fast. And he's like, I can't understand you. And I'm like, okay, I'll try to speak slowly. Shout out to you, Daddy. I love you. Basically, the story was that my mom was walking past the bathroom and I can't remember fully the details, but somebody had left the bathroom door open, okay? I have to go get a refresher of this story, but somebody left the bathroom door open. My mom didn't notice, and she basically walked into that door, or it swung open and hit her. I'm not sure. Like I said, I have to revamp the story. But the door hit her breast, the door hit her breast, and it caused her a lot of pain. And you know, something hits you, obviously it causes you a lot of pain. It's a tender area, you know. As a woman, when you hit your breast, it's the scariest thing. That's why we wear bras, for some stability, so that way we don't like walk around with our breasts just free. I feel like whenever I go out without wearing a bra, I feel naked, essentially. I feel like I'm more free. Like anybody who gets close to me, if their arms are moving a funny kind of a way, I feel a type of way. Like I'm like, if you swing at my titty right now, I'm just free and open. There's no bra for protection. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what happened to her. She hit her breast on that door, or the door hit her breast, I don't know. And it caused her a lot of pain. So she went to the hospital, long story short, and they found out that she had breast cancer. So that was the first time that happened. She ended up going through the treatment, and she also had a mastectomy, but not a double mastectomy, just a mastectomy on one of her breasts. And that was that. And like I told you, that was when I was 2. We ended up moving to the States when I was 4 years old. By that point, cancer was just a story from 2 years ago. And so that happened, and basically after she finished the treatment and they deemed that she was cancer free. And mind you, this is Haiti, so it's not like this is America where they have like the best medical services and all that other stuff in Haiti, just as much as they have in America. But nonetheless, they were able to cure her from that breast cancer, and they did the mastectomy, and she healed from that. So cancer free. It put her on a medication that she had stayed on for, I want to say it was like 5 or 10 years. I'm not sure what the number is specifically, but it was either 5 or it was 10 years. I believe it was called tamoxifen. If you're a nurse, you know what tamoxifen is. And then after that 10 years, because it was 2002, she had breast cancer. So she stayed on the tamoxifen for 10 years. So she stopped in 2012. And then in 2015, the cancer came back. She got her second round of cancer. I remember I was 15 years old. I was sitting in science class. It was Mr. Stone's class, actually. I was sitting in Mr. Stone's class, I remember. At that point, I think I was 15, so I was in 10th grade. I was in 10th grade, but I think it was towards the end of the school year. It was towards the end of the school year. So at that point, Cliff had already left, had already got kicked out of the French track, and now he was in the English track. So Cliff, my now husband, he was in class with me at that time. And I get called out to the office, which never happens because I'm not a bad kid. So I got called out to the office. They're like, you have a phone call for you at the office. And I was like, okay, let's go see what the phone call is at the office. Thinking it's like, you know, this grand thing, like what's new today, yay. I go to the office, and on the other line of the phone is my sister, and she's crying, and she's like, hey, well, because at this time my sister had already graduated high school and she was already in college. I need you to stop. Like, you have to stop because I'm recording a video. So please stop. What's the problem? What's the problem, Blue? What's wrong? Okay, stay right here. Don't move. Go sit over there. Go sit over there. Huskies are so, like, needy. Like, they're so attached. It's crazy. Where was I? I can't remember now. Oh, Mr. Stone's class. So I was in Mr. Stone's class. They called me to the office, and I go to the office, and it's my sister on the other line, and she's crying, and she's like, oh, well, basically, mommy has cancer. They said that she has stage 4 cancer. She's like, yeah, they said mommy has stage 4 breast cancer. And that's what they said. And they don't know if it's spread yet. She just has stage 4 breast cancer. Now, I'm in class. Yes, you, Soraya. I'm in class at school, 15 years old. And my sister's home, and she thought the best time to tell me was while I was in school. I never understood that, really. Till this day, I still don't understand that. But Soraya's the type of person, if she has news, she ain't gonna wait. She's not gonna hold it. Soraya can't hold water. So it's like she has to tell me, because she's like, I feel like you need to know, and you need to know right now. So she told me, but I just felt like it wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time to tell me. So basically what happened is, after I found out, I went back to class. I had to go back to class. It wasn't like somebody was picking me up from school. She should have picked me up from school and told me in the car. But like, she called me, told me, and expected me to go back to school. Like, it was just crazy to me. So I had to go back to class. On my way back to class, here comes Mr. Jobert talking about, where's your pass? Why don't you have a pass? Why are you in the hallway without a pass? I just got told my mom has breast cancer, stage 4 breast cancer at that. And I'm in school, and I don't know what to do. And Mr. Jobert is worrying about my planner and where's my pass. I didn't have a pass. They came and got me and brought me to the office, but the person that came and got me left. So I had to walk back by myself, and all of a sudden now, you don't have a pass, so I need to take you to your teacher and find out why you're in the hallway. And now I'm getting in trouble, and I can't even talk to him. I'm not even processing what's going on. I'm still trying to process what's going on. I'm not even responding, because like my face is like literally numb, and he's like poking at the bear. So he walks me back to Mr. Stone's class. This has nothing to do with the breast cancer story, but that just pissed me off that day. But he walks me back to Mr. Stone's class, and I sit in class, and mind you, I'm still trying to process. So I sit there and I just start crying. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, what do you mean she has cancer? I'm only 15 years old. This is my mom. Like, and I'm a mommy's girl. Like, I love my daddy. Damn. Okay. I love my dad. I love my dad. I love my dad. But I am a mommy's girl. Like, that's my best friend. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do? This is my mom. She's like so active in our lives. She's really responsible for everything. She's the pillar of the family. So I'm like, breast cancer? What are we about to do? So I start crying. And I basically have the worst day of school ever in my whole entire life for the rest of the day. And then I get home, and we basically start going through the process of that breast cancer journey. So basically the situation is, when you have breast cancer for the second time, you are automatically deemed stage 4. It wasn't that they already knew that her situation was stage 4, but because she had it was a reoccurrent cancer episode, they just went straight to stage 4. Basically, after the fact, we had to do a PET scan. A PET scan is an exam. Let me get the definition of a PET scan so y'all could really understand. Hold on, Google about to tell us. I mean, I can layman terms explain it. A PET scan is basically a test that they do when they find out that you have cancer, so that way they can see if the cancer has spread to any other areas of your body. That's the layman's terms. But Google says a PET scan is a nuclear imaging test that uses a radioactive tracer to create 3D imaging of the inside of the body. What it shows. The scan can show how well organs and tissues are working and can help detect cancer or other diseases. It can also measure blood flow, oxygen use, and metabolism. So a PET scan, the PET, P-E-T, it's not actually PET. It's like P-E-T, it's an acronym. It stands for positron emission tomography. So that's basically the test that she had to get. And that was the most trying time of my life. I don't know if I don't remember it because I wasn't that involved, or if I don't remember it because it was so traumatic, I kind of blocked it out. I think it's the second thing, because how could I not be involved? It was my mom. Hello, I was hella involved. I think that I just blocked it out. Like, I blocked out the trauma. But or maybe they didn't tell me much about it because they didn't want to stress me out. Like I said, I was 15. So I'm not really sure 100% because the story is still very vague to me. Basically, she had to get this PET scan, and the PET scan was going to let us know if the cancer had spread or if the cancer was still localized to the breast area. Like I said, worst time of our lives. Like, we're basically holding our breath because he said that if the cancer has spread, then there's not much that they can do. They can do the radiation, but if it's spread other places, then you know. But if it hasn't spread, then he says he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that he can rectify the situation. So now we're waiting to see what the final call is. Like, has it spread or has it not spread? You don't know what it feels like until you go through that feeling, like where you're holding your breath and you're like, what's the results gonna be? You know what I'm saying? And I bet you it was the worst for my mom, obviously, because it was her life and she was thinking about all the things that she would be leaving behind. But at the same time, like, for her family, watching her go through that pain, it was mortifying. So anybody going through that situation, my heart goes out to you. I don't know how long we waited. Like I said, my brain blocked out that memory, but we were waiting for that result, and we received the result, and it said that the cancer did not spread. The cancer was still localized to that one breast. And mind you, it was the same breast area that she had the cancer in the first time. The same breast area. So they said that it was still localized to that one area and that they were going to begin with treatment. And her treatment was going to be chemotherapy and radiation, and that's what she did. I don't know how long. Like I said, I was still 15. I don't know how long she did that for, but she had to obviously go through a treatment period where she was doing chemotherapy and radiation. And now, you guys, radiation. Let me Google it so we could be on the same page. Radiation therapy is a cancer treatment that uses high doses of radiation to kill cancer cells and shrink tumors. It can be used as a primary treatment or in combination with other treatments like chemotherapy. So basically, she had radiation with chemotherapy, but radiation is like, they use high doses of radiation to kill cancer cells. So they're like radiating that area of her breast. Like, it's like a radiation device that's like sending radiation to that area of your breast. And radiation meaning like fire, like burning, it hurts. So I had to like watch her get that radiation. What the radiation ended up doing was it burned the skin that was on top of her, you know? So the radiation is going directly to that section, but it's burning the skin on top at the same time. So I remember going into my mom's room around that time and smelling burning flesh. Like, the smell of burning flesh was all over the room. It was a distinctive smell that I remember smelling on her every day. I never told her like, oh mom, you smell like burning flesh or anything like that, but like, that's the main thing I remember from that time. The smell of burning flesh. I remember her like in agonizing pain in the bed and just being like, and looking at her chest, and it's burnt. There's like dark parts, there's open parts, there's red parts. Like, it was gruesome. It was gruesome, and she was in pain like all the time. So it was intense. It was intense. So that happened while she did radiation and she did chemo. And of course, over time, the therapy ended up ending, and she was done with the therapy. While she was doing the therapy and after the therapy, I guess, trying to recover and build back her endurance, she had some home health, which is what I do. So she had nurses come to the house. She had physical therapists come to the house to walk with her and build her endurance, build her stamina and stuff like that, and get her back to herself. Now, here's where the story gets amazing, because my mom, the superwoman that she is, going through breast cancer for the second time with 2 teenage kids. No, sir, I wasn't a teenager. Sir, I was an adult. I was a teenager. No, if I was 15, sir, I was 17. So she was still a teenager. Yeah, with 2 teenage kids and just a husband. Like, it was just all us 4 our whole lives. So if you see us like this, it's because it's literally been us 4 our whole lives. So she's going through this breast cancer thing. She's going through her treatment. She finishes going through her treatment. This is a woman of faith, mind you. She finishes going through her treatment, and as she's recovering, she's not working yet or anything like that, but as she's recovering, nobody knows, but what she's doing is she's studying to take an NCLEX exam. So before my mom got diagnosed with cancer, she was in nursing school to become an LPN. She didn't get the chance to study for her exams and to go take her board's exam so that she can get her licensed practical nurse license. And then she ended up getting diagnosed with cancer, so she wasn't able to do it while she was going through that. So what happened is, after she finished the treatment for the second time that she had cancer, she started studying for the NCLEX. She just started studying. She didn't tell anybody, she just started studying. And I remember just seeing her at night, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and she is studying, like studying. My mom always fell asleep during that time on the books. Like, I never watched my mom fall asleep without a book in her hand. And she wasn't in school. She didn't have like professors or like other people like assisting her. She just wanted to pass this NCLEX. Like, she just wanted to pass, but she didn't want to tell anybody because she just went through cancer, you know? She just fought cancer basically, and now she's trying to study for an NCLEX, things that people do when they're 100% and it's hard. She's doing it when she's recovering from cancer. And you know, this is somebody that's not from America. This is somebody from another country. So anybody from another country, you already know what I'm talking about. Like, and then on top of it, put a Haitian. Haitians are smart, okay? And that's not even me saying it as a bias. Haitians are intelligent, and they are definite hard workers. Like, they will work hard, especially when it comes to their education. And you guys know third world country education is always better than American education. So my mom was going in. My mom was going in. Like, she was like, I'm not failing this test. I'm gonna get a nursing license, period. So she studied, and she studied, and she studied some more. And she applied to go take the test, and she went and she took it the first time, and she didn't pass. She came back harder, and she studied some more and more and more. And she studied for a while, and she found nurses that were at BC at the library, because she was always at the library studying. She found nurses at BC at the library, and she studied with them, and they gave her some paperwork, and she studied that paperwork, and she just did everything. She exhausted all her opportunities, did everything she could possibly do to pass this test. And long story short, guys, she went the second time to go take the test. I think the first time she didn't pass it, but she went the second time to go take the test. She went back the second time to take the test, and as she was taking the test, they stopped her at 75 questions. So for her, she feels like, I'm not that smart. That's what she was feeling at the time. I don't know why this is happening, but that's what she was feeling at the time. She was like, I'm not that smart for them to stop me at 75. Like, what, I did that good for them to stop me at 75? She didn't believe that she was that smart for them to stop her at 75. It must have meant that she failed, because it's impossible for her to be that smart to stop at 75. So she came home and she was livid. She was like, oh my gosh, I'm done with this stuff. This is the second time I took the test and I still didn't pass. She was hot. She was just hot. She came home and she was like, I didn't pass, I'm done, I'm not doing this anymore. And everybody in the house was like, it's okay, you had cancer. Like, you had cancer, there's no need for you to think that you're gonna just go and pass the NCLEX. There's people that are working harder without cancer and they can't pass, so it's okay, like, it's okay, blah, blah. But I told her, no, you passed, trust me. For some reason, I knew she passed, because I think I really seen how much she was studying. Like, every night I would see her fall asleep in the book. And I would go and I would take off her glasses as she's sleeping. She would wake up and see me, and I'd be like, good night, mom. And I'll put her books away and she'll go to sleep. And that's how she'll sleep every night. You mean to tell me somebody's studying that hard? Like, my mom's not stupid. So you mean to tell me somebody's studying that hard and they didn't pass the test? Like, if she took the whole test and she was like, I don't feel like I passed, then I'll understand. But if you stop at 75 questions, because for those that don't know, they stop you at 75 questions either if you're doing really, really bad, or if you're doing really, really good and we don't need you to test no more and we already know you're good. It's one of the two. So you don't really know which one it is until they give you the results of the test. So naturally, she's humble. She's gonna think that she did really, really bad. But turn of events, she ended up not even checking the test online. Like, she didn't go check her score or nothing like that because she was so convinced that she failed. But for me, I felt like she didn't, because I felt like she studied way too hard. Like, I watched her study way too hard to fail, and my mom's way too smart for that. So I always told her from that day she came home from the test, I was like, you passed. Like, there's nothing that can tell you that you passed. Like, her just telling me I don't feel like I passed, it's at 75, that must mean I did really, really bad. I'm like, no, it doesn't mean. You mean to tell me you sat in front of those books every night and you sucked so bad that you failed at 75? Like, it didn't make sense to me. So I was like, no, Mom, you passed. And she was like, shut up, Jeffy. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just saying stuff because I'm your mom. No, like, leave me alone. I failed. And I'm like, no, Mom, you passed. So basically how they did the results is you could either go look it up online and see what you got, or you can get the letter you could wait to get the letter in the mail to find out what you got. But it typically takes like a month to get that letter in the mail. So she just forgot about it. She was just like, man, forget this stuff. I'm done with the nursing thing. It doesn't work for me. I'm not going back. Forget it. And so then a month later, she goes outside to go get her mail, and I hear her like laughing and singing and laughing and singing. And I'm like, what is going on with my mom? Like, first she was screaming. She was like, ah! I actually have the video. I might actually put it in right here. I recorded it on Snapchat the day that she found out. So I might put it in right here if I can find it. She was like outside screaming. She was like laughing though. She was like, ah! like laughing. I'm like, what's going on? And then she comes inside and she's still laughing like crazy. And she has this paper in her hand and she's like, look. And she gave it to me and I was like, you see, I told you. And it said she passed the NCLEX. She passed the NCLEX. My mom passed the NCLEX while studying, going through cancer treatment. And that is my motivation and my inspiration. Like, if that isn't motivation and inspiration, then I don't know what is. That's my motivation and my inspiration every day to become a nurse. So after I watched that happen, like, that was my drive in nursing school. When nursing school became too difficult and nursing school was trying to kick me out the game, that's what I thought about. The resilience of my mother. My mother standing there with breast cancer, missing a breast, fire burning her skin. And she's like, I'm gonna study for my NCLEX because that's what's gonna give my family a better future. We came here, I was 4, my sister was 6, and my parents were like in their 30s, and we had nothing. We had literally nothing, absolutely nothing. At a point, we were homeless. We were all homeless together, and we had no home. We had nobody that would take us in. We had nobody that we knew in the States, and we didn't speak English. Like, we were literally at 0. And for her to like find it in herself, the strength in herself, even at a time where she was so depleted, to still go out and pass an NCLEX. Like, if you haven't taken an NCLEX and you don't know what it is, but like, even from the outside, you know nursing is not easy. But as a nurse who's taken an NCLEX, like, now that I've taken the NCLEX, I really know the potential and the power of this story, or the inspirational value of this story, because I've taken an NCLEX. And an NCLEX is not like any other test that you've taken in your life. An NCLEX is completely different than that. And my mom was able to manage passing that NCLEX while going through cancer treatment. So I want that to be your inspiration too today, for you guys to know that, hey, you know, nursing school is hard, yes. Studying for the NCLEX is hard, yes. Finding that discipline is crazy difficult, yes. I know, I was there, but I want you to know that there are people out there that are fighting hard and they are making it. So if they can make it, there's absolutely no reason why you can't make it. You are gonna make it because God is in your corner. And so you're gonna make anything, because Philippians 14, what is it? In Philippians, it says that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. So just let God strengthen you and you'll be unstoppable. Like, I'm not even joking. The potential of power that God can give you, the Bible says you can move mountains. So I just wanted that to be somebody's inspiration today. I wanted to tell you guys my story because that is really my reasoning for even becoming a nurse, for following in with the nursing thing. Because I told you guys my mom's my best friend. So she was a nurse first, now I'm a nurse, and we have like this lingo, like we speak nursing. And it just makes me feel so happy to be able to have that person. Because I don't even have many nursing friends except the people that I met in nursing school. They're my only nursing friends, essentially. But like, I don't really have many nursing friends, but I could say that my nurse best friend, The best nursing friend that I have is my mom. Like, I can always talk to my mom in clear nursing language, and she understands, and we be talking about crazy stuff, and she always gets it. And even till this day, it's like, what, that happened, what, 7 years, what, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, shoot. I'm getting old. That was 9 years ago, y'all. So that happened 9 years ago. And when my mom passed the NCLEX, and she is still spitting out knowledge like it's nobody's business. Like, my mom doesn't even know how smart she is. Like, Mom, if you're watching this, you're smart. Stop acting like you're not a nurse. You are smart, okay? You're smart, lady. You're smart. So I just wanted to give you guys that little story to give you guys a little bit of inspiration, because that definitely inspired me, and it drove me to becoming a BSN RN. So thank you, Mommy. I love you, I love you, I love you. And thank you guys so much for stopping by and doing life with me. And I hope I get to catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All 3. And then share the video if you really love me. I need 500 subscribers to get monetized, and I'm at 75 subscribers. So I still have a ways to go. So if you want to support the channel and you think that you love the content and stuff like that, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell notification. I'm trying to be more consistent. You guys can also leave some options down in the comments below. Also, I wanted to ask you guys to leave some stories of maybe your journey that you have seen, your journey, your family member's journey that you've seen that has inspired you greatly, because I know my mom's journey really, really did inspire me. And it is October, so in the spirit of October, I wanted to make sure I put this little story in there, so that way you guys can know that breast cancer is a fight that we're fighting, but we are bringing awareness. Y'all see my pink? We are bringing awareness to the cause, and we're doing everything that we can possibly do to make sure that people are aware of the different things that we need to know when it comes to breast cancer. Thank you guys for watching the video once again, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.